Hey guys, what's up? So yesterday I did not do a vlog, sorry. It was a long day. I went to the shelter. Okay, come here. I went to the shelter and volunteered for a few hours. And that was cool. One of the dogs that has been there over a year and a half, I found out got adopted over the weekend. So that was really awesome to hear. But yeah, it was just one of those days where everything was going really good and I just didn't want to think about mental illness or anything. And then first thing this morning, my husband's been getting on my nerves today. First thing this morning, we're walking the dog and we were talking about, because we're planning on going to Mexico, we were talking about how he was giving me shit because I haven't been using the app and trying to learn Spanish. And he's like, except for when you're manic, you think you know Spanish. And I'm like, why do you have to bring that up, dude? Why do I even, it just evokes such because what he's referring to is whenever I was in my manic episodes, I would say curse words and stuff to him in Spanish and claim that I spoke Spanish, because when I was in my teenage years I hung around some people who were gang affiliated and stuff, and I picked up things here and there, but only when I'm fully blown psychotic do I do this. So, and he thinks it's funny, and for me, there's nothing funny about it. It just makes me feel shitty. It makes me feel horrible. I mean, I have severe PTSD from this shit. I have crazy ass nightmares. He's seen it. He accused me of wetting the bed. And it's to him it's funny, but it's whatever, I mean, it's great that he can see humor in it because I put him through hell. But anyway, yeah, so I realized today that I left you guys hanging because I was going to talk about the time that I kicked out the cop car window. So this is a crazy story, super crazy. I can make this shit up. So I go fully manic while I'm on the job. I was working in Santa Monica. I was a media buyer, and I started doing weird shit at work. I basically stopped going to work. I didn't think that I needed to work. I just thought I needed to show up and check in, and then I could leave and do whatever I wanted. But anyway, this was in my third manic episode, and my friend showed up, a really good friend of mine that I'm still friends with, and my friend that I'm no longer friends with, who was my best friend before. They showed up and they drove me to my dad's house, which is in the middle of nowhere, 6 hours north from where I was. And I think they drove me all the way there to my dad's house, and they stayed there that night, and then they left early the next morning. And there's where my dad lives, there's this one tiny store, and I was fully blown out of my mind, manic, and I basically snuck out the window and left and started walking down the road, because there's this little store 5 miles down the road. And I go there, and actually I remember before I even went there, I went across the street. There's some crazy guy that lives across the street, and the house, I guess he had moved out, because I went in this house, and I remember it was so weird because everything was gone, but in the living room there was just this giant carpet and all this shit underneath, and I don't even know what it was. But yeah, I went in this random guy's house, and then I left, and hi little guy. And then so I left, and I ended up at the store, right? And I'm at this store, and for some reason I got it in my head that I owned the store, that my imaginary boyfriend bought me that store. And he wasn't like a make-believe person. There really was some guy that I was super obsessed with, but I thought he was my boyfriend, and he wasn't really my boyfriend. And he bought me this store, and so I just waltzed in there and like walked into like the back office and was like hanging out at the guy's desk, like I owned the place. And then I grabbed one of the t-shirts off the rack and put it on and went and sat outside on the patio, like I owned the place. I think I took a pack of cigarettes from the guy too. And like I asked for it, and then I just never paid him, and then I went out there. And so I think they called my dad because they knew who I was, because it's a really small town up there. And my dad came, and I remember there was like I had like a physical altercation. Like he was trying to like remove me from the store and take me back to his house because he didn't know what to do. And I was just like running away from him, like, let me go, you know. And then the cops showed up, and the cops like literally had to like drag me. Like I stopped like walking, so they were like dragging me with my legs. And so they put me in this big like cop car SUV thing, and then they drive me to this one area and they drop me off. And I don't know if it's because it was different jurisdictions or what, but it was so weird. The one cops drive me to another area where they meet these other cops, and they put me in this different cop car, and the different cop car drives me to, I think there were like 3 different times they changed. It had to have only been once though. But anyway, here I am. I'm thinking these cops are like gonna rape me or something because they switched cars on me, and I'd never heard of that. But it had to be because he lives in the middle of nowhere. And anyway, the cops driving me to jail, and I literally am like spazzing out in the back of the car, and I kicked out the car window, and I just had like some weird like sandals on. But yeah, and a piece of shard like flew and like hit me in the ankle, and so now I have that scar, and I have like loss of rotation in my ankle. It doesn't fully like move around. But yeah, that's that story. There's actually more crazy details to that story, which I can tell you guys more about tomorrow if you're interested, or not. But either way, I'll probably talk about it because who knows, maybe something else will come up. Anyways, thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow. Adios. Bye.